With E3 2019 in the books, people have kind of looked forward to see what else the gaming industry will provide us. Everyone was looking at Sony, Microsoft, and every other publisher to provide us with updates and news on what we should expect for the next couple of months. We all know that PlayStation might have their PlayStation Experience coming at the end of the year, and most people are excited about that because we haven't really heard anything from Sony for over a year since last year's E3. So it's exciting for us gamers to finally get something new in regards to PlayStation. And as for Microsoft, we already know they were at E3 where they showed some new games and some new gameplay when it comes to the Xbox games. And even with Xbox showing up to E3, they still want to give their fans more information on what to expect when it comes to spring 2020. That's where XO19 comes into play, where Xbox will hold a huge event where they concentrate on the Xbox brand. Now, if we remember last year's XO18 event, it was bigger than ever, and we also got some more information on games, expansions, and existing games, and also new studios. And this new XO event promises to show some of the same type of announcements, but with new games being thrown in. And that's where Aaron Greenberg comes into play. In an interview, he was asked about the event, which will take place in London. So let's dive into exactly what Aaron Greenberg is talking about and what he might be hinting at for the event. The new games, services, and maybe even old franchises coming back. But before I get into all that, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. So let's dive into this interview because I've already talked about this Aaron Greenberg interview when he discussed what the Xbox game studios are working on and how many games they're working on. But in this part of the interview, it deserved its own video because he goes into a lot of detail about what we should expect from XO19. But also he hints at games they're working on, and not just small AA games, but huge open world games that a lot of people really want to happen. So in this interview, the person interviewing Greenberg asked about XO19 and what the event is going to be like and how big is it going to be. Will it almost be as big as E3? Greenberg had this to say: "Nothing is ever as big as E3. I would say that'd be setting expectations too high. E3 is incredible, and I think E3 will always be really special, and we're really excited about what we had at E3 this year and the response to that. As we get into the holidays, we really brought back this spirit of XO, which really was all about doing a celebration of all things Xbox. E3 is traditionally more of an industry event, whereas XO for us is really focused on the fans and our gamers who just want to celebrate with us. That's what we did at XO last year in Mexico City, and that's what we're doing at XO19 this year in London." I like that Greenberg doesn't oversell or hype XO19 into this huge event that will stand toe-to-toe with E3, which is the biggest event of the year every year for gaming. But he doesn't say that XO19 is this unimportant event. He does bring up great points about it being only about Xbox and celebrating Xbox as a whole. It's a chance for Xbox to stand on its own and have the spotlight all to their own, much like they did last year with XO18. And if people remember, last year they announced 2 new studios, one of which was a huge studio by the name of Obsidian Entertainment. And while that studio was leaked months before the announcement happened, it's still this huge studio that joined the Xbox Game Studios family, and would have been a huge announcement for any company to talk about during an event. And to me, it shows that XO19 could be an event that truly does give us Xbox gamers a lot of cool announcements. Be it a new studio or even a new game, do I think it will rival E3? No, of course not, and no one should expect that, but I do believe we might get some cool announcements that hold us over until E3 2020. Yet Aaron Greenberg was directly asked if we will see new games that we've never seen before at XO19, and his response was simply yes. And he kind of left it there and didn't want to bring up any more detail to that question because he wants to keep certain things a surprise for the event, which I can't blame him because after Obsidian Entertainment was leaked, it really did take the power away from that announcement. Something like that should have been this huge celebration for fans and for Xbox as a whole. Instead, it was a cool announcement that everyone knew was going to happen, so it didn't have the biggest impact like it should have had. But the person interviewing Greenberg didn't let up. He brought up a certain game that every single fan of Xbox has been wishing would happen, and the interviewer asked him this: "Excellent, there is one game that I really want to see from a certain British studio." And before the guy could finish his question, Greenberg had this to say about it: "Here's my philosophy on surprises. If I tell you, it's not a surprise anymore. As a gamer, part of the fun is that people love to be surprised. What is going to happen? What is going to be announced? It's just like when you sit down at E3. We have some surprises planned, I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, I think that we'll have a great show. We also have a lot of games coming out in the spring. It's, I think, the biggest lineup of games we've ever had in the spring. In that window of time between EXO and E3, we have a lot of stuff to show, and people can get hands-on time with it and talk about it. So that would hopefully be some goodness for the fans that at that point will have already make their holiday purchases. And they'll be thinking about what they're going to play in the spring and what's coming to Game Pass in the spring. And so we can start talking about that as well. Now, this entire quote excites me a lot, and if you're a gamer in general, this should really excite you because it teases so many new things. Now, the game I was hinting at before is obviously the new Fable game, and that's being rumored for so long, and is being developed by the new Playground game studio team that's been hiring like crazy. And for Greenberg to basically say that they want to keep things close to the vest because they want to have surprises during the event does make me a little optimistic about the event. And I think Microsoft felt a little bit of annoyance with the Obsidian Entertainment leak just last year, because it did take a lot of hype out of the announcement. So this year, I truly think they're keeping things secret and trying to not have certain surprises leak. Does that mean they'll give us new announcements with the same hype as an E3 show? I don't think so, but I do think they'll show us certain new games and maybe even announce a studio that is joining the Xbox studios. No matter how you look at this interview and what was said, it does bring us a lot of hype for the XO19 event. Because I was one of the people that was so hyped for E3 this year, and I felt a little let down by the event as a whole. Not just from Xbox's perspective, but at the entire industry. I felt it was one of the worst E3s in a very long time and didn't really have that much weight behind it. So for a little while now, I've been waiting for the industry to kick into gear, give us some awesome announcements, and something to look forward to. And this interview with Greenberg got me excited to see what Xbox has in store for us when it comes to XO19. But it also gets me excited to see what Sony does with their PlayStation event, because I want to see both companies competing to bring us the best gaming experience they possibly can. But I also like seeing updates to the industry and seeing what games will be coming to us. And that's exactly what Greenberg brings up when he talks about the XO19 event, bringing us a little bit of an update on what to expect in spring 2020. We know that the spring releases have been just as profitable and big as the holiday releases. The industry is seeing gaming as a year-round business finally, instead of a holiday release schedule. And Xbox is trying to provide us content and games all year round, which makes me happy, because there are low points in the gaming industry where you don't have many games being released. So I'm happy that Xbox has the content and the confidence to have multiple events a year to provide updates on what they're working on. But enough about what I think about this. Tell me what you think about all of this. Do you think Fable is coming to XO19? What new games do you think are coming to Xbox? Are you excited to see more announcements from all publishers? Do you think Sony and Xbox will compete to have the better events this coming holiday season? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. Any support helps the channel out more than you know. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my videos. I'll hope to see you guys there. And also follow me on Mixer. The link will be in the description. I recently started streaming on Mixer because I find the community a lot more engaging and fun to be around. So if you want to hang out and chat with me, I'm very active with my chat and always playing games there. I hope to see you guys there. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.